retired physics teacher. She enjoys chess, swimming, walking her dog, and participates in STEM education. Please welcome accomplished communicator gold and accomplished leader bronze, Beth Stokely. Woo!
Oh, you want to know the order of the speakers. Dan Murray is not able to be with us this morning. Speaker number 1 is Dan Collier. Speaker number 2 is Fern Vaca. Speaker number 3, Kevin Gale. For any of you who are not familiar with evaluation contests, it works like this. We start with a 5 to 7 minute speech by a guest speaker. After that, the Assistant Sergeant at Arms will take the evaluation contestants out of the room, where they will to a secret location where they will have 5 minutes to prepare their evaluation and turn in their notes. They will come back one at a time to evaluate the speech we have all heard. And as you heard, there will be a minute of silence between each speech. Let's start with our guest speaker, Brent De Ruyter. Knowledge, perseverance, and perspective. Knowledge, perseverance, and perspective. Brent De Ruyter.
The man who I'm going to talk about today was a great inventor at the turn of the 20th century. He specialized in agricultural-related inventions. Theodore Roosevelt, Mahatma Gandhi sought this man's advice on agricultural issues. Henry Ford worked with this man on alternative fuels for the combustion engine. Thomas Edison found this man to be the most preeminent inventor of his time. But what made this man truly remarkable was the fact that he was born a slave in Diamond, Missouri. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, welcome and honored guests. The man I'm talking about is George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was born a slave in 1864. Before he was even 1 year old, thieves came up into Missouri from Arkansas, stole him, a sister, and his mother, took them to Kentucky, and sold them. The Carvers were able to recover only George. When they did recover him, Mary Carver taught George how to read and write and gave him a basic education. But it was his desire for knowledge that led him out of the Carver household to 7 miles away, where he had to persevere to get his primary education. He had to go to multiple schools due to the racism of that time. At one of the schools, he left because he witnessed a lynching and left for fear of his own life. But he did persevere, and he got his high school education. And not only that, he applied and was accepted to Highland University until they found out that he was African American. At that point, they rescinded his application. So much for Highland University being the beacon of light at that period of time. But he persevered. He persevered. He homesteaded a claim, and he did agricultural and botanical experiments. And then he went off to art school. And after art school, he went off to Iowa State University, where he became the first African American at Iowa State University, getting his graduate degree. After his graduate degree, he went off to Tuskegee University, where he headed up the agricultural department. Under his tutelage, the agricultural department became the most world-renowned at that time at a small African-American university. One of his pioneering inventions at the time was the mobile classroom. He took this wagon throughout the South and taught farmers how to replace cotton with crops like soy and peanuts and other type of agricultural products. He taught them how to properly rotate the crops because the soil needed to be refreshed from time to time. He also taught them how to take those products and make marketable products out of them. For example, he would take a sweet potato and be able to make it into a dye, a soap, fuel, even plastics. This was historically significant given the historical context. In the 1890s, you had the boll weevil. The boll weevil was an insect that came up through South America into the United States and ate cotton and devastated cotton crops. You had over-farming of cotton, which at the time, cotton absorbed so much nutrients from the soil that it was difficult for the farmers to get the proper yields of cotton. And then you had a whole contingency of ex-slaves. This contingency of ex-slaves had a difficult time transitioning from slavery to independence. And George Washington Carver taught independence. What made this all possible was a unique perspective. His unique perspective was success is simply measured by service. George Washington Carver was an inspirational figure. But inspiration without action is apathetic. So I challenge each one of us today to go out and take the action of pursuing knowledge, but not just knowledge in general. There is no shortage of knowledge, it's essentially limitless. But knowledge associated with our gifts, our talents, our responsibilities. To persevere, because there will be difficulties when we pursue knowledge. There will be roadblocks. And to have the perspective to take that knowledge and serve other people. When we do these things, not only will we be successful, but the community at large will be successful too. Madam Toastmaster.
Contestants for the evaluation contest, leave the room, please. While they are preparing their evaluations, we will get to know our guest speaker better. So, what club are you in?
I'm in Simi Valley Toastmasters. We meet on Thursday nights.
Woo! Have other people from Simi here? How did you come to join Toastmasters?
I saw it as, I was aware of Toastmasters for past 20 years, but I looked at my life and said, an area of real weakness is my ability to present, being really introverted. Doing this is very frightening.
Does this strike you as introverted?
Yes, I'm painfully introverted.
It's working.
Yes, it is. It's a great organization.
May I ask what line of work you're in?
That's a great question. It is. It's a great question. I sold my business in 2014, so I am kind of out there right now trying to figure out, trying to find myself.
Wonderful. What kind of business was it that you were in?
It was aerospace engineering and manufacturing.
Yeah.
Have you always lived in California?
No, I have not. I lived in New Mexico for a period of time, and in southern New Mexico. And let me tell you, the statement of "it's a dry heat," spend some time in New Mexico in the summer in a dry heat of 150, and you may rethink that statement. I also lived in Colorado for a while because part of my business was in Colorado. So, no, I haven't always lived in California, but it's my primary residence.
And you like the weather here better?
Yes, I do. It's far better than New Mexico. New Mexico's great from about 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. during the summer. Southern New Mexico. Northern New Mexico is different.
And I take it you're enjoying Toastmasters and finding it useful?
Oh, yes, yes. I find that they're just very encouraging, especially being a newer member. I've been in Toastmasters for 7 months, and the experienced members who have been in the club 10, 15, 20 years, there's just so much knowledge there, and it's great every week to go in, and just a lot of really intelligent, well-spoken people that I learn a lot, and just a lot of different perspectives that help me as an individual grow. So it's been a great experience.
Any of you who want a speaker for your open house to sell Toastmasters? Martha's excited. Okay. Is there anything else interesting that I don't know to ask here?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot interesting. How much time do you have, right?
Until they come back. Is there anyone in the audience that you would like to acknowledge?
The Manns. Alan Mann. He told me, he's like, hey, I've got this little event, and it's not that big of a deal. You just go up and speak, and I walk in here, I'm like, thanks, Alan. I give Alan a lot of credit because if he was brutally honest with me, I probably wouldn't be standing here. When he said it, I'm like, oh, hey, that's a great opportunity. So, Alan, you've used your one bullet.
Little shock.
And I'll never believe you again. And I believe we have something for Brent. Where's Rowan?
Alan, that's your one bullet.
Let's give him $20. Who was enjoying the show?